This dude's money-making speed is straight up unbeatable. He strolls into a bank, acting like he's about to pee his pants. "Dude, I really need the restroom," he pleads. The security guard, probably thinking poor kid, waves him to the staff toilet. That's when David's brain goes into hacker mode, mentally mapping the exact location of the vault. He heads home, grabs an axe, a chisel, a flashlight, and a duffel bag that looks way too small for what's about to go down. Then, bam! He makes like 1,000,000 trips back and forth, even using bedsheets as makeshift money bags. By the end of it, his room looks like Scrooge McDuck's money bin. 8 years later, thanks to his bank heists, David's living the high roller life. He's got a mansion bigger than most hotels, a private vault filled with cash, and all the luxury you can dream of. Teleportation isn't just for robbing banks. He uses it to be the laziest person ever. Thirsty? Poof, he's at the fridge. Can't reach the TV remote? One blink, and he's on the couch. After 8 years, he's so good at teleporting, he can practically do it in his sleep. And those travel photos plastered on his wall, just one look, and he's off to any corner of the world. This teleportation power is straight up OP. In the morning, David's chilling on top of the Sphinx in Egypt, munching on a burger and sipping a Coke like it's no big deal. By noon, he's catching waves in Fiji. And at night, he's soaking in the London vibes, checking out Big Ben all lit up. Then, he hits up the hottest bar in town, the one where all the models hang out. But hold up, how did he even get this crazy power? Flashback time, the school bully decides to be a total jerk and shoves David into a freezing river. As David's about to black out, whoosh, he suddenly finds himself in the school library. Teachers are screaming, and David's just standing there, looking like a wet cat going, "Am I in a fever dream?" But the dripping clothes and puddle on the floor say, "Nope, this is real." When he gets home, his drunk dad loses it. "Where the heck have you been?" his dad yells, ready to throw hands. David bolts to his room, but his dad's pounding on the door like a wild animal. Panicking, David closes his eyes, and poof, he's back in the library. That's when the light bulb goes off. If he thinks hard enough about a place, he can teleport there. He zips back home just in time to see his dad calling the cops, yelling that his son just vanished into thin air. The cops roll their eyes and tell his dad to maybe get some sleep. David takes this golden opportunity, packs his bags, and peace outs from his abusive dad, just like his mom did ages ago. He hops on a bus to a random city, stuck in a sketchy motel, but with big plans to use his power to change his life, bullied his whole school life. David's on a revenge mission, turn his teleportation power into cold, hard cash. After scouting the bank like a pro, he uses his ability to clean out the vaults. Fast forward 8 years, and he's a straight-up billionaire. He picks the swankiest bar in town, the one filled with gorgeous people. Most folks are too busy having a good time to notice his teleporting tricks, but one guy with curly hair, Griffin, locks eyes with him. Meanwhile, deep in the Amazon jungle, the NSA is on a hunt. They're after another jumper, and with one shot, director Roland takes the guy down, but then Roland gets a call. There's a new jumper in town. That night, when David gets home, Roland's waiting for him, looking like he's about to drop some major bombshells. David thinks they're there for the bank heists, figures they're just regular cops. He's ready to talk his way out or teleport if things go south, but Roland doesn't mess around. "Cut the crap, David. I know you're a jumper. High voltage electricity is the kryptonite for jumpers." Roland spills the beans. His crew, the Paladins, have been hunting jumpers for centuries. Why? Because they think jumpers are cheaters who get rich without doing any real work. They're like the morality police of the superpower world. With his life on the line, David sprints into a hidden room, cuts an antenna, and teleports out of there just in the nick of time. Roland is pissed. He underestimated David, big time. Looking at all those travel photos on David's wall, Roland figures out every single one of his teleportation spots and orders a full-scale manhunt. Back home, even though his dad was never really there for him, when David's in danger, his first thought is of his old man. When his dad hears noises from David's room after 8 long years of silence, he knows his son is back. Can an abusive, alcoholic dad really change? David's dad swears he's a new man. No more drinking, no more yelling. He begs David to stay. But as soon as his dad opens the door, poof, David's gone. David knows he's in deep trouble, and the safest thing is to keep his distance. The U.S. is now a no-go zone, and he's about to start a life on the run. Before he leaves, he can't resist one last visit to see Millie, the girl he's had a massive crush on forever. He goes to the bar, and of course, his old school bully spots him. The bully, still jealous of David's looks, starts picking a fight. During the scuffle, Millie notices David and comes over. The bully, being the ultimate jerk, starts flirting with Millie, knowing it'll get under David's skin. David sees red and throws a punch. They start brawling, and in the chaos, David grabs the bully, breaks through a door, and teleports them straight to the bank vault. With a devilish grin, he leaves the bully shaking in his boots and teleports back to the bar. He shares a drink with Millie. Her dream has always been to travel the world, but she's never had the cash. David lies, saying he's saved up from his bank job, and invites her to Rome. Traveling like a millionaire? Yeah, it's as awesome as it sounds. Private jets, 5-star hotels with all the fancy amenities. Millie's a bit suspicious though. How does a bank employee afford all this? She asks. Trust me, Millie, I'd never lie to you, David says. She doesn't push it. She's always liked David, and she knows he cares about her. That night, their relationship takes a major step forward. The next day, they head to the Colosseum in Rome, but it's closed for maintenance. Millie's super disappointed. This was the whole reason she wanted to come. While she's not looking, David teleports inside, opens a side door, and they get a private tour of the place. As he's about to open one last door, he runs into Griffin, the curly-haired guy from the bar. Don't open that door, David, Griffin warns. Turns out, Griffin's a jumper too, and he's got some bad news. David's being watched, and he's in more danger than he thought. Before David can even process what's happening, 2 paladins materialize out of nowhere. No warning, no small talk. They just whip out stun batons and go straight for Griffin. Dude teleports faster than you can say plot twist, which basically screams, "Yeah, I've dealt with these guys before." Poor David, not so lucky. He gets yanked down by an electrified cable and eats dirt. Literally. He thrashes around like a fish out of water, finally breaking free, only to get zapped and slammed into the door. Millie hears the commotion and starts screaming his name. Enter Griffin, stage left. He grabs one paladin, barrels through David, and crashes into a locked area. Then he picks up the second guy, tosses him like yesterday's trash, and boom! 2 paladins down for the count. But all that noise, it attracts a nosy female manager who calls the cops faster than you can say, busted. Griffin drags David away, teleporting to his pad. Keep Millie out of this, he warns. The paladins will use her against you. David zooms back to the Colosseum, grabs Millie, and tries to make a run for it. But guess who's waiting at the exit? Cops ready to arrest them for cultural heritage damage. David can't risk blowing his cover, so he plays nice. In the interrogation room, a woman walks in, tells him to teleport and run, then dips. Plot twist, it's his mom. Mind blown, David unlocks his cuffs, finds Millie, and sends her to the airport. Time to track down Griffin and figure out what the heck is going on. David's got a massive target on his back thanks to his teleporting skills. Griffin drops a history lesson. Jumpers have been around since the Middle Ages, and the Paladins? They formed an evil hunting squad to wipe them out. They don't just kill jumpers, Griffin says. They go after their families too. Millie's in serious danger. David teleports home, but it's too late. His dad's already kicked the bucket. He tries to save him by zipping to the hospital, but it's a lost cause. Furious, David goes to Griffin, demanding weapons for revenge. You'll get yourself killed, Griffin scoffs. We need to team up. They start training, practicing how to follow each other's teleport trails. First stop, Tokyo. Griffin teleports into a 4S shop, steals a sports car. David's mind is officially blown. You can teleport with a car? He gapes. Griffin takes him on a wild joyride through the city, bragging, some jumpers can even teleport entire houses. After a night of adrenaline, it's time to gear up for battle. Griffin heads off to prep weapons, while David finds Millie, saying they need to leave. Stat. But the Paladins have other plans. Just as David's trying to convince Millie to ditch, the paladins show up, ready to snatch her as bait. David sweeps her up and teleports to Griffin's hideout. Big mistake. The paladins have a tracker that follows teleport trails, and boom, their leader, Roland, materializes out of thin air. David and Griffin duck behind a pillar, hoping for a sneak attack. But Roland spots David, lassos him with an electrified cable, and pins him to the wall with a web of electric ropes. Roland pulls out a knife, ready to finish David off for good. Just when it looks like game over, Griffin swoops in, flamethrower blazing. He unleashes a wall of fire, but Roland, decked out in a fireproof suit, doesn't even flinch. Instead, he turns on Griffin and beats the crap out of him. Griffin's beyond pissed. He breaks out his secret move, the 4-step teleport combo, and with a burst of speed, lands a punch that sends Roland flying 100 meters. Not stopping there, he hops on a dune buggy, teleports to the city, and drags back a double-decker bus, aiming to pancake the guy. But Roland's no slouch. He slides under the bus at the last second. Griffin's not letting up. He torches Roland right back to Millie's place, sending him crashing through the window. While he's down, Millie grabs a wrench, cuts David free from the electrified web, and in the next breath, Roland yanks her away with his cable. "Come get her," he smirks, knowing David won't risk her life. With his blood boiling, Griffin plants a time bomb, ready to vaporize Roland. "Millie will die too," David shouts, blocking him. David zaps the detonator to who knows where, and Griffin's hot on his trail. What follows is the most insane teleport battle ever. They brawl on top of the Egyptian pyramids, dodge traffic on a suspension bridge, get sand in their shoes at a Dubai beach, and even crash a pool party mid-skyscraper freefall. They end up in the Arctic ice, but Griffin's patience runs out. He rams David with a semi-truck, sending him straight into a Middle Eastern war zone. But David's one step ahead. He traps Griffin on an electrical tower and makes a beeline for Millie. Big mistake. It's a trap. Roland zaps him with an electric lock, pinning him down in front of Millie. "Checkmate!" Roland grins. David's so enraged, his powers go haywire. The house shakes, his body glows like a neon sign, and boom! He teleports half the house, Roland, Millie, and all, into the same lake where he first discovered his powers. David's a fish out of water? Literally! He's drowning, but Millie breaks free and gives him mouth to mouth. As soon as he comes to, he whisks them both, plus Roland, to a library. Roland still won't quit. He goes for the kill, but David's done playing nice. In a final move, he teleports Roland to the middle of nowhere. No cell service, no people, just endless desert. Good riddance. In the movie's closing scene, David finds his mom and a little sister he never knew existed. Plot twist: Mom was a paladin. When she found out David was a jumper at 8, she couldn't bring herself to kill him, so she fled. "Leave before I have to choose," she says, hugging him goodbye. With that, David and Millie vanish into thin air, literally. They start their new life on the run, but hey, when you can teleport, anywhere is home. This is Jumper, 2008. Yeah, the plot's a bit cheesy, but the whole Jumper vs. Paladin showdown? Total popcorn movie gold. If you're loving this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next wild ride.